Today, we're digging into something huge happening in higher education. Malaysia is essentially rewriting the rulebook on what it means to be a future-ready graduate. And trust me, this has ripples for everyone.
So let's just start with the big question right off the bat. You get a degree, you learn some technical skills, but in the world we live in now, is that really enough anymore? Or does our incredibly complex world demand something more?
Well, it turns out that's exactly what Malaysia's education leaders have decided. This quote from their latest national education framework gets right to the heart of it. There's a global demand for graduates who are guided not just by what they know, but by strong values and a real sense of sustainability.
So what's really driving this? Why the big change all of a sudden? Well, this isn't happening in a bubble. We've got to look at the bigger picture.
Think about it. We're dealing with massive, interconnected issues: climate change, digital ethics, social inequality, you name it. To even begin to solve these, you need people who can think critically, act with integrity, and work together. Your technical skills are absolutely vital, for sure, but on their own, they're just not going to cut it anymore. So, to meet this new global demand, Malaysia is doing something pretty strategic. They're upgrading the core architecture of their entire education system, and it all revolves around something called the Malaysian Qualifications Framework. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, the MQF is basically the operating system for all higher education in the country. It sets the rules and quality standards for every single degree, diploma, and certificate. So, you want to change what a graduate is capable of? You start by upgrading the OS itself.
And at the heart of this huge upgrade are two powerful ideas. On one hand, you've got value-based education, or VBE, which is all about weaving ethics, integrity, and social responsibility into the very fabric of learning. On the other, you have Education for Sustainable Development, ESD, which is laser-focused on preparing students to tackle those big global challenges we just talked about.
And, this didn't just happen overnight. It's been a really deliberate journey. The original MQF was set up way back in 2007. It got its first big review in 2017 to keep up with the times. But 2024, this is the milestone. This is when values and sustainability officially became part of the core code. Okay, so that's the big picture theory. But what does this actually look like for students and professors on the ground? Well, the answer is in a totally new way of structuring what students are expected to learn. So, instead of the old categories, the new MQF is built around these 5 integrated learning clusters. You've got your basics like knowledge and cognitive skills. Then you've got practical abilities in functional work skills and personal and entrepreneurial skills. But look at that last one, ethics and professionalism. It's now a core, standalone pillar. That's the new blueprint. And you can really see the evolution when you put the old framework next to the new one. It's not about throwing everything out. It's about making it smarter. See how a whole bunch of different skills, like communication, leadership, and practical skills, are now streamlined into that one powerful functional work skills cluster? Meanwhile, ethics is elevated to have its own spotlight. It's a much clearer, more integrated approach.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but a little abstract, right? I mean, how on earth do you actually test for ethics or grade someone on sustainability awareness?
And this is the absolute key to making it all work. The focus is shifting from just knowing the theory to actually putting it into practice. It's no longer enough to just write an essay about business ethics. The new framework demands that students actively demonstrate ethical thinking and sustainable practices in their projects, their presentations, their work. Let me give you a perfect example. A digital skills class. The old learning goal might have just been, show you can use the software. Simple enough. But the new goal? It adds a crucial layer. You have to prove you can use those platforms ethically, with respect and proper etiquette. It's a tiny change in wording, but it is a massive change in what's expected. And this connection to sustainability isn't just a happy accident. It's baked right in. The new MQF clusters are designed to map directly to core sustainability skills. So when a course is building your cognitive skills, it's now also building what's called systems thinking, the ability to see the big picture. When it's fostering ethics and professionalism, it's developing your normative competency, which is just a fancy way of saying your ability to make sound judgments based on values. All right, so we've covered the what and the how. Let's wrap this up by talking about the most important part. Why should you actually care about any of this? Well, the impact here is huge, and it hits everyone. If you're a student,
Your education just got way more relevant, moving beyond textbooks into solving real-world problems. For you, educators, this is a clear signal to get creative and design more meaningful ways to teach and assess. And for employers, wow, this is a total game changer. You're about to get access to a pipeline of talent that isn't just skilled, but comes ready with the ethical mindset that modern companies are desperate for.
So at the end of the day, you've got to see this for what it is. It's so much more than a bureaucratic document update. It's a bold vision for the future. It's a blueprint for building a new generation of leaders who aren't just ready for a job, but are ready to help shape a better world. Which really leaves all of us with one final question to chew on. This new landscape is coming, whether you're a student, a teacher, or a leader in business. The rules are changing. The question is no longer just what you know, but what you're going to do with that knowledge. So how will you contribute?